Hey, what's going on, everybody? Drama22 coming back here, talking about some offensive football. Just wanted to give you guys a little heads up on, I think the most popular playbook out there are the Jaguars, but it's the same as the Bucs, just so you know. I had the great opportunity to help out a little bit with these playbooks. I think stock playbooks are in a really good spot right now. Understand that these books are based off of real life data that we get. And I was also able to kind of give some advice on some of the, things that happened last year. So based off of Liam Coen's offense, if you guys watched my series, a lot of this book is based off of the formations that we had last year. So if you're curious about the offense and how it kind of runs, I did a video series last year talking about Liam Coen's offense based off of his time in college when he was at the University of Kentucky. But a lot of those formations carried over to what he does in the NFL currently, and a lot of it stems from the root team of Sean McVay, his background being an offensive coordinator for the Rams. So a lot of that stuff overlaps a little bit with the Rams, but he has his own personality. So I just wanted to show it to you. I think a lot of people are out here talking about the playbooks and how basically this is like a custom playbook. I saw somebody talk about this and say, hey, this is like a custom playbook. Well, it pretty much is a custom playbook because it's custom made to what Liam Coen has in his history like to do. Let's just talk about some of the formations and some of the personality things that are part of the Liam Coen offense. And I think if you really are interested in his offense, just stick around, man, throughout the year. We're going to talk about what's going on in Jacksonville and even what's going on with the Bucs to see how it's kind of flowing together and what's changing. And we can kind of like look at it together, man. All right. Whatever suggestions you guys have, I'd love to hear them. So let's go through this offense and take a look. Okay, so I think the first personality formation that you always think about when it comes to real life Sean McVay's offense, kind of the staple, is 2x2 tight split formations, right? So as we look at it, last year in Madden 25, we had our tight Y off flex formation in there already, part of the book, part of the Bucs book, as I would say, but part of the Liam Coen offense was in there. What was added in there was giving you tight Y off, okay? So now you have pretty much like both formations are relative. The formation really changes if you go back to the terminology of, having the slot receiver on the ball in one of them, but then now we also have the slot receiver off the ball. So now you get a lot of these jet sweep fakes that both offenses love. McVay and Coen, part of their offense is guys fake jet sweeping. So I think adding in this formation was a nice little add. It gives you some of the personality plays of the wide zone offense in there, especially with the play action shot and a lot of the run game, okay? Okay, so overall, we get into the gun formations now out of the tight splits. We have gun tight doubles and gun tight Y off. That was around last year, but now we have gun tight slots added to the book, all right? So you kind of have now the full complement of, do you want your slot receiver on the ball? Do you want him off the ball? And you have the same thing like you do in under center, all right? Now, I started here because from a conceptual standpoint, this is part of the core part of the offense, but the personality of Coen's offense in general is going to give you some more 3x1 formations. If you go back and you watch that old video I did last year, in the very first intro video, I talked about how he loves 3x1, okay? And I think that also does come from a little bit of McVay as well, but that's where you're going to see some of the big changes and some of the big additions that have been added to the playbook. Okay, so going back and looking at 3x1, I think the big thing that was added to the book was giving you 3x1 nub formations. So big part of their offense, and I've talked about this in a lot of offenses you see in football right now. Teams are coming out in 3x1 nub and motioning the 2x2. So you see some of the auto motions here, but giving you one where a tight end's in line, one where a tight end's offline. These plays are powerful for many reasons, but I think this is a good personality play for him. Also going to the cluster formation. I think this is one of the more popular formations in the game, bunch strong basically. This is something that is a personality formation for his offense. And I do believe that we also added in the gun Y off trio close. This has also become a big staple of a lot of teams in the NFL, basically giving you that kind of bunch-ish formation, but not really, kind of like in that in-between world. Then the last part I would talk about is really the addition, in my opinion, of giving you some more empty stuff, right? So I do believe there was empty base trio last year. Now we kind of swapped it out with just having an empty base, okay? And then also having empty quads. Empty base might have been in there, pretty much the same thing, but having the empty quads formation is a third down favorite of Coen, and putting that in there was important as well. There are probably some more formations that are here, but I don't want to make the video too long, but I wanted to make sure we know that this is in there. From a standpoint of a fullback, I know Coen does use a fullback in his offense, so you could probably add one in there. If you look at the McVay tree and the Coen tree, they like to use tight ends a little bit more. 2 tight end sets would be more popular than maybe 21 personnel. So just wanted to give you a good little look at the offense. If you guys follow the wide zone offense and the way they work, you get the passing concepts to be pretty much the same. And then in the run game, you're leaning on more of your zone, outside zone running game. But Coen is probably one of the most balanced versions, probably him and Kevin O'Connell, of this offense, where they will run everything. So they will run duo, they will run some power, they will run some counter. And then also I would think Coen is I've seen it in his plays a lot, he likes to pitch the ball. Okay, so those are some things that I would try to look at if you want to run this offense. People say this is the most powerful playbook in the game. And I think it's good because it's a real life playbook, man. You guys can really take a look at this and say, hey, a lot of work has been done to make this book look like Liam Coen. Now, as we go through the year, we'll see what Liam Coen's going to do to change it up a little bit. But I guarantee you, when you watch the games tomorrow, this is going to be a lot of what he's going to show. And then we'll go from there. All right. Appreciate you guys' support. I'll go through some more offenses here soon. I'm going to take a look at some other West Coast wide zones type of offenses that have been a little bit altered or added some formations, and we'll go from there, guys. All right. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just let me know. I'll talk to you later.